Hello, ladies and germs. Today, I'm going to be discussing quite a banger, at least in my opinion. Something that I've been wearing for a lot of the year, ever since it came out. I picked this up and it was probably around 40-ish bucks. It was pretty hard to get initially. Now it's very easy to get, and you can get it for probably about $29, $30, somewhere in that range. And it is a banger. It is very polarizing for the simple fact that it's a little different. It's not like your average fall and winter fragrance. It has a few notes that I think may rub certain people the wrong way. It's a unisex scent, so obviously it's gender neutral. I tend to think that it kind of leans more masculine, but that's just my opinion, personally. I can see a woman wearing it though, or anybody that wants to wear it.
It's for everybody.
The fragrance that I'm talking about is a Detour Noir Intense by Haramain. Here's the bottle. Now, as you can see, there's kind of like a matte finish to it. I love the way that feels. That's just me personally. I love the way it feels in my hand. This weird shape, as all of these Detour bottles are, they're about the same. All of the bottles share the same kind of design. And there's Haramain Detour Noir, which is in the clear bottle. And then there's Detour Echo, which is the green one. I believe that one's a Haldane clone.
Almost forgot.
This one is actually a clone or takes inspiration from Pegasus Exclusive by Parfums de Marly. But as far as the bottle goes, I love this, the feel. That's just me personally. But what I don't like, I don't know if you can really see, but I barely really touch this, and you see it has like a few little scrapes on the bottom, and the words are starting to kind of scratch off. It's rubbing off very easily. I think that's the only thing that I don't really like. But as you can see, the little bronze top, this feels more metally, but I believe it's still plastic. This up top, clearly plastic. You can feel it, but it stays on very, very well. Very tight.
What do you mean by that?
So as far as the notes go, it has cardamom, heliotrope, bergamot, pink pepper in the top notes, lavender, bitter almond, jasmine, geranium in the middle notes, and the base notes are agarwood, vanilla, amber, sandalwood, and guaiac wood. In my opinion, let me spray it on. I love this. I love this. Like I said, it's very polarizing, and some people are just not going to. To me, when you initially spray it on, it smells a lot like Play-Doh.
That's weird.
Or some kind of, it just reminds me of my childhood. It's like some kind of silly putty or Play-Doh that I used to play with. I used to go to the store, the 99-cent store, and I used to ask my mom always, I was like, can we buy some Play-Doh or silly putty? The silly putty was, me and my sister like to use the little transfers on the newspaper and stuff. We just thought that was the coolest thing. But that's showing my age. I mean, I have a few grays in my beard, so you can probably see that too. But me and my sister used to do the little transfers with the silly putty, and so that smell is kind of ingrained in my mind, and I smell that somewhere in here. Some people probably wouldn't even smell that. It's just something, I'm just a little weird like that. But yeah, in the top, you get a lot of that pink pepper, because it's something that's very, I wouldn't say sharp, but it stands out quite a bit. I don't smell any of that bergamot. I'm not really sure what heliotrope smells like. I've had several fragrances that have had that note in it. I don't see any similarities between them, but yeah, and then you get a little bit of that cardamom. So it's definitely, you smell a lot of the top notes, at least like 2 or 3 out of the 4. What I think that Play-Doh-y smell is the bitter almond. It's something very earthy, and it might be how it mixes with some of the florals. Like there is the heliotrope, like I said, I'm not really sure how that smells, but then there's the geranium as well and the lavender, and I think just how it kind of sits with it, it just really stands out to me. When you initially spray it on, that's what you're gonna get, a blast of that Play-Doh clay kind of smell. And then as it starts drying down over the next several minutes, you get more of the woods coming out, the agarwood and the sandalwood and the guaiac wood, but it's a very kind of Swedish kind of wood. So it's not like a real dry wood. It's very sweet and creamy in there, and that mixed with the vanilla and the amber, it really kind of like sets a really cool tone in the base. I feel as though the longer if this sits, the longer those things start to come out, those little elements with the wood and so on and so forth. So yeah, you give it about half an hour and then it's just like almost straight woods with a little hint of the florals, and the pink pepper dies down a lot. That's when I end up really liking it, is after the pink pepper dies down and it's not so, I hate to say sharp. I don't really get that same sharpness with the Pegasus Exclusive. It's very, I don't want to say linear, but it's just blended a lot better, so you don't really get that kind of sharpness to your nose. This one, after about 15, 20, 30 minutes, that's gone. Actually, I would say probably after about 5 minutes it's gone.
Well, which is it?
It's not as bad. Everything starts to blend really good, but that's the price that, we pay for buying fragrances that are clones. And I think that this is pretty darn close. It's just, you have to kind of give it a second. That's where it shines after that, like after you've let it sit for a little while and it's going more towards that dry down. It is very powdery. And I think that's where the unisex kind of thing comes in. Powdery done right can be very masculine, but powdery done in a particular way kind of tends to lean like kind of feminine. This one is done in a way that I feel like it can go either way, but it's more of a masculine scent. This is definitely a fall winter scent. I would not wear this during the summer. It seems like it would be way too heavy. Heaviness and the sun and the heat, it does my nose dirty. As far as when you would wear this is more of a date night fragrance. I would not wear this to work. I can just see it being very annoying to your colleagues. It's not that it doesn't smell good. It smells really good, but it's just there and it just really hits you. Now, if you work outside, cool. Office environment,
I'm shaking my head no.
Go really light. This projects pretty far. It's definitely going to get you noticed. Whether that's in a good way or a bad way, I think it's going to depend on the person. I've gotten nothing but compliments. It's going to be a particular person that likes it, definitely. Depending on how many sprays, it's going to hit somebody from across the room. So you have to be very mindful of that. The longevity, it gets me probably a good 6 hours. But like I think maybe it's a little bit more. It's just going to depend, because I tend to go nose blind after probably the first 3 hours, so I don't even notice it. And so far, I haven't had anyone really mention it after that 6 hour mark, but I feel like it's still there. When I smell my skin, I still smell it. If you put it on clothes, it's definitely going to last longer than 6 hours, but that's just going to be a personal preference. A lot of people like to put it on skin, put it on their neck, and so on and so forth. I like to be smelled, but I don't want to be smelled as soon as I walk in the door, and I don't want it to linger so much that people are getting headaches from it. So I tend to spray a little bit lighter than the average. I've seen several YouTubers that literally are just like, and I'm just like, wow. Yeah, it's a lot of spraying going on that I don't really think that I could do, because it would bother me. Growing up, I had asthma really bad, and I got over it the older that I got. It still lingers in the background. So things like this, it can tend to bother me a little bit. But yeah, as far as how close it is to the original, as I kind of mentioned, once it dries down, it is almost indistinguishable. The differences, which are probably going to be a good 10% off, I would say would be in the initial opening, just how a little sharper it is, but nothing too bad. Like, definitely. This is a pickup. I definitely recommend this. I'm going to see if I can get a code so that you guys can get the cheapest price for this. If I can, it will be down in the description. So check it out. Please support this upcoming channel. If there's anything in particular that you want me to do a video on, please hit me up. I definitely will take requests and I will purchase it and let you know exactly how I feel about it. Just let me know. Signing off, this is Frag You're It, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check you out later.